Okay, we are continuing on with the 4.2b of the auto transactions. This is added on to what we did earlier. It's part 2 of it. We're going to start with the quartiles. We did this in the last lesson, but I know I got cut off in there, so I might as well just start off with the quartiles in there so that it transitions a lot smoother. Okay, so what we're going to do, we've got a few other things in there, stem and leaf, and the box plots. So we'll go in there. So we'll go over the quartiles. Hopefully this will make it a little bit clearer. Okay, so when we have our data here, okay, we have our data. Okay, first thing we are going to find is not our first quartile, but Q2. Q2 is the median. Okay, and that median is right smack in the middle. Okay, we've got 9 of these, which when it's odd makes it a lot easier. So we just get the one that's right in the middle, which is 31. Now, our first quartile is going to be subscript 1. Our first quartile is going to be this lower half, the median of this lower half. Now we have even numbers there, so we're going to have to take these two and divide it by 2. So this is going to be our Q1. Okay, 15 is our minimum. So our Q1 is going to be 17 plus 21 divided by 2, which equals 19. Okay. Our Q3 is dealing with the upper half. And we're going to take those two. Okay, you don't have to add them and divide it by 2. I mean, they're the same number. So since they're the same number, I mean, we can just call it 32, but just on the regular note. Oops, 32. We're just putting it as 32. So that's our Q3. Q4 is our max. Okay, so our minimum is 15. Our Q4, which is our max, equals 34. Okay, so that's it in a nutshell. I don't want to write as many words like I did last time because it may make it a little bit too confusing. Okay, so here we want to find the difference between Q1 and Q2. Okay, it's actually supposed to be Q3. Sorry about that typo. Q3. All right, so here our Q3 is 32, our Q1 is 19. So we get Q3 minus Q1, which equals 32 minus 19, and that equals 13. This right here represents our IQR. That is our inner quartile range. Okay, that is our IQR, inner quartile range. Okay, and we're going to use that to help us find our outliers. Okay, so right here, we're going to find these outliers of tire prices. Okay, we're given a bunch of data here: 45, $88, 109, 129, 146, 189, 202, 218, and 545. Okay, I mean, from looking from far away, 545 and 45 look like an outlier. Okay, but they may not necessarily be one just because they look like it. Okay, so what we're going to do to find our outliers is we have these formulas. Okay, which is Q1 minus 1.5 times the IQR. Okay, that's the lower outlier. The upper outlier will be Q3 plus 1.5 times the inner quartile, IQR. So that means we need to find what Q1 is, and our inner quartile is, and our Q3. Okay? So if we want to find our Q1, the first thing we want to find is that Q2, our median. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Falls out perfectly, so we're going to look for that fifth one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is 146. As you can see, we've got 4 there, and we got 4 there. So Q2 is 46. That means to figure out our Q1, we're going to find the median right here. Okay, with those two. So Q1 is going to equal 88 plus 109 divided by 2, and that is 98.5. We're going to have our Q2 equals 202 plus 218 divided by 2, and that's going to equal 210. Okay, so Q1, Q2. Okay, so now we know this, we need to find our RQR. So our RQR is Q3 minus Q1, okay, which is equal to 210 minus 98.5, which equals $111.50. Okay? So now we have everything we need to plug in. So we're going to find the lower outlier. So we're going to take our Q1, 98.5 minus 1.5 times 115. Okay? And that one equals negative 68.75. Okay? So that means this is the lowest we can go in order to have an outlier in the lower end. You know, kind of looked like 45 was an outlier, but it's not lower than 68.75. So that means there were no outliers on the lower end. Okay. So now let's take a look on the upper end. Okay. Our Q3, which is 210. So we're going to put this in here. Q3. So you've got 210 plus 1.5 times our IQR, which is 111 here. Okay. And that's going to give us $377.25. Okay. So anything above $377.25 will be an outlier. So if we look up here, we notice that 545 is above it, but 218, the next highest, is not. So we got $545 as the outlier. Okay. So that's how we figure out outliers. And then we'll get it all together in a little bit. All right, our stem and leaf plot. Okay. So if you look at this chart right here, or this table, what this represents right here is the first, actually it's best to say, this is the last digit of a number that is at least 2 digits. Okay, so this is the first one, so that would be 11. 11 again. 12. 13. 17. And 19. So this is another way to write this. I mean, you could see it from in there. If I had a 3-digit, like if this was 10 and that was 5 here, that would mean this number is 105. Okay, that's what that would mean. Like right here, this is 40. Here, this is 63, 64, and 64. Okay, so if you understand this part right here. So what we are looking for is the mean and the median. Okay. Well, the mean is still going to be a little bit tedious. One thing we do know is that if we counted this all up, we'd have 30 numbers. And if we want to find the mean, okay, we'll have to just add up all the entries, in there. So if we added all these, 11, 12, blah, 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 20, 23, we would get 1,188. So if we want to know the mean, we'll just divide that by 30. And that's going to come out to 39.6. So that is the mean of that. Okay. Now, if I want the median, okay, there's 30 numbers here. Okay. So I'm going to look for the 15th and 16th number. Add them together, divide them by 2. Okay. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. Both of them are 39. Yet I'm not going to add those up and make it 2. So the median equals 39. Okay. Now, the one thing that makes the stem and leaf make real easy is you can find the mode a lot more. The mode is what number appears the most. Okay. And I'm looking right here. I've gotten 5. I got 5 39s. The only thing close to that, I think, is 55s. So the mode would be 39. Okay, so that's the stem and leaf plot. All right, let's move along. We got 2 more, and then we're done. Okay, Rod, supposed to say Rod, not Ross, who is researching gas prices, in example 4, found another graph called the box and whisper plot or the box plot. It is shown below. Find the interquartile range of this distribution. Okay, so I'm going to draw another box underneath here. It kind of matches it. Oops. Come on. There we go. Okay, so over here we have the minimum. Okay, this is our Q1. This is our Q2, which is the median. Q3. And then we have our maximum. Okay. Our IQR is Q3 minus Q1. So if we look and we match it up, it's our Q3. That's our Q1. So Q3 is 55 minus 23, which gives us 32. Okay. So what that means is that 50% of gas prices will fall within that. Will fall around $32. Okay. All right, the last one. Last one we have. All right, here. The following box and whisker plot gives the purchase prices of cars of 114 seniors at West High School. Are any of the car prices, let's read car price, any of the car prices, outliers? Okay, so we're talking about outliers, and we'll bring up that formula again. We've got Q1 minus 1.5 times IQR, and then for the upper one, Q3 plus 1.5 times IQR. Okay, so we'll look in there. This 3,000 is our minimum. 5,200 is our Q1. 7,000 is our Q2, which is our median. 9,100, that's our Q3. And 43,000, that's our max. That's our maximum. Okay. So let's figure out this IQR. That's going to give us 9,100, minus 5,200, which equals 3,900. So that's our IQR. Okay, so let's figure out the bottom outlier. We'll take 5,200 because that's our Q1 minus 1.5 times 3,900. Okay, and that's going to equal negative 650. So anything lower than negative 650 will be an outlier. If you look here, the lowest one is 3,000, so no lower outliers. Okay, let's look at the upper one. Q3 is 9,100 plus 1.5 times 3,900. Okay, combining all that, that's 14,950. Our max is 43,000. So we have at least one upper outlier. And that is $43,000. Okay, that must be a really nice car, or somebody thinks they can get a whole lot of money for nothing. Okay, well, all right. Well, that finishes this lesson right here. Okay, the homework is the assignment. I will post for those of you who do not have the new book, if you don't have the new book, I will post the problems on the material section of Schoology so you could do it. You've got 2 problems in there. This is from the new book. Okay, so again, the problems are in Schoology for those who do not have the new book. Okay, looks like hopefully I will be in class on Friday just to check in. And I think Mr. Masters has a couple more days out after that, and then I will be back. Other than that, take care. God bless. Have a good day.